Caitlin Clark's rookie season was supposed to be a celebration. A record-breaking star enters the league. A struggling franchise becomes must-watch television, arenas sell out, ratings explode. A new audience arrives almost overnight, and suddenly the Indiana Fever are not just rebuilding anymore. They are the center of the basketball universe. But nobody was ready for what came with that spotlight. Because Clark's first year in the WNBA did not feel like a smooth rise to greatness. It felt like a war of pressure, resentment, physicality, coaching questions, playoff heartbreak, and one shocking full-circle twist that changed the entire future of the franchise. The woman who helped end Clark's rookie season would eventually walk into Indiana as the coach expected to protect her. And that is where the real story begins. From the first week of the season, Clark was not treated like a normal rookie. She was treated like a phenomenon. Every arena became louder, every possession became content. Every deep three became a national debate. Every turnover became a talking point. Every hard foul became a referendum on how the league was handling its newest star. That kind of attention creates opportunity, but it also creates enemies, not enemies in the cartoon sense. Not players sitting in locker rooms plotting like movie villains. The truth is more complicated than that. Clark entered a league full of veterans who had built the WNBA through years of hard travel, smaller crowds, lower pay, and far less national attention. Then suddenly, one rookie arrived with a spotlight bigger than anything the league had seen before. That tension was inevitable. And on the court it showed. Opponents pressured her, they bumped her, they trapped her. They made her defend, they tested her strength, they tested her patience. They tested whether she could still control a game, when every defender in the building wanted to make her uncomfortable. Some of it was normal rookie treatment, some of it was elite scouting, some of it was physical basketball. But some nights it felt like more. It felt like Clark was being asked to carry the future of the league while also surviving the league's harshest welcome. And she kept getting up. That was the part that made her season impossible to ignore. The pressure did not break her. It sharpened her. After the early chaos, after the cold shooting nights, after the criticism, after being left off the Olympic roster, Clark came back with a different edge. She stopped looking like a rookie trying to adjust, and started looking like a player forcing everyone else to adjust to her. The records started falling. She became the first rookie in NBA history to record a triple-double. She broke the NBA single-game assist record with 19 assists. She finished with the most points ever by a rookie. She became Rookie of the Year. And every time critics tried to frame her as only hype, she answered with production that made the hype look justified. But here is what nobody wanted to admit. As Clark became more comfortable, Indiana's internal pressure became more dangerous. Because once a player proves she is special, every decision around her gets judged differently. Every timeout matters. Every substitution matters. Every offensive set matters. Every possession where she does not touch the ball becomes evidence for angry fans. Every loss becomes an argument about whether the coach understands the star. That is the trap Christy Sides found herself in. Sides helped guide Indiana to the playoffs. She survived a brutal early schedule. She managed a team that was suddenly under national pressure every night. In a normal situation, that kind of progress would buy time. But the Caitlin Clark era was not normal. Fans wanted more than progress. They wanted clarity. They wanted the offense to breathe through Clark's vision. They wanted a system that protected her rhythm instead of interrupting it. They wanted Indiana to look like a franchise that understood exactly what it had. And when that did not happen consistently, frustration grew. There were games where Clark looked ready to take over, only for the rhythm to vanish. There were late possessions where fans questioned why the ball was not in her hands earlier. There were moments when the Fever looked caught between two identities. The old rebuild and the new superstar reality. That is one of the hardest transitions in sports. A franchise can draft a generational player in one night. But learning how to build around that player can take much longer. And Indiana did not have the luxury of time. By the time the playoffs arrived, the Fever were carrying momentum, attention, expectation. Clark had turned the season into history. The fan base believed something special was beginning. Even if Indiana was not a championship favorite, the feeling around the team was electric. Then they ran into Connecticut, and Stephanie White. At that moment, White was not Indiana's savior. She was the obstacle. She was the coach standing on the other sideline with a defensive system built to make everything ugly. Her Connecticut Sun teams were physical, disciplined, connected, and comfortable dragging opponents into the mud. That was exactly the kind of matchup that could test Clark's rookie growth. White understood something simple but powerful. You do not beat Caitlin Clark by letting her play beautifully. You beat her by disrupting the rhythm before it becomes music. So Connecticut pressured her. They denied her space. They made every catch difficult. They forced Indiana to run offense under stress. They used playoff physicality to turn Clark's historic season into a grind. And then came the moment everyone replayed. Early in Game 1, Dejanai Carrington's hand caught Clark in the eye. Clark went down in pain, no foul was called. The image of Clark playing with a visible eye injury became one of the defining visuals of the series. Fans exploded online. Some called it dirty, some called it accidental. Clark herself later said she did not believe it was intentional. But in the emotional world of sports, facts and feelings do not always move at the same speed. To Fever fans, the moment became symbolic. It represented everything they felt Clark had endured all season. The bumps, the hits, the swallowed whistles, the physicality, the feeling that opponents could test the line with her more than they could with anyone else. And Connecticut won.